In fact, maybe that's what it is. Okay, so for the on-demand viewers, we'll switch it up a little bit here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the SC Reddit Open number 7. We are watching Game 4 between Zukarakox and Yulath. I am Harlequin. We are here today with Atomica as we are casting this. It is currently up 2-1 Yulath and Atomica. I am in rather fine fettle this evening. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. I don't know about you, but we've seen such good matchups today. I would love to see you take win this set and go all the way to the finals. As many of you know, our finals 2B, which was Hybrid Frog versus Vicwith. Vicwith had to drop out, and so the winner of the ordinarily bronze third place match, the winner of that is going to go up and play the finals, and whereas the loser of that is going to just take their place. So, yeah, I would love to see a Zerg player against, watch more Zerg VP. Yeah,
I completely agree. I'm totally racist. I want to see a Zerg beat Protoss as well. So hopefully that'll happen because we will have that. But, you know, Zukarakox has placed really well. So for those of you who haven't watched these sort of things weekly, Zukarakox was placed number 2nd in the last tournament, and I've definitely seen him doing a great job. So he's a regular here in terms of his performance. So I am not surprised at all to be seeing him in the end. He was certainly on the list of favorites at the beginning of all of this. But looks like a normal build order. This is much more standard for Zerg, getting the early gas up just so they can have 100 gas by the time that this spawning pool goes up. I've been using words all day, so I'm just going to keep saying them in random orders until they make sense. But, you know, stuff is looking pretty good here so far. Nothing too surprising from either player.
Yeah, we've been here at the SC Reddit Open, number 7, for approximately 5.5 hours. So, you know, that's a thing that we do.
I agree. So, got a lot of chomping going on here. Got a little bit of zapping between workers.
Oh,
Yulath trying to be as annoying as he
can.
can.
This probe take him out.
Once again, we see the cybernetic score
tag
opening. And he jumps into the extractor. It's like sliding into home. Just and he's safe. And he'll cancel that later, hopefully. But he, you know what? Actually, versus a Protoss player who's already got a cybernetic score up, there's no reason to cancel that. Just take it. That's just as good. But for the most part, we got a queen coming up here. We've got speed going up. Let me pull up my production tab and see what else is being made. You know, it's really easy to remember the production tab with Zerg because you can just never tell. There's just, you know, you see a bunch of eggs and you're like, well, okay, what's in each egg? I don't know. Being nice and aggressive with his overlords, although I fear for this kind of the overlord by Zukarakox's main entrance because he's going to lose it if he doesn't back it off. I usually like putting it on the cliffs above the expansion, whereas this rightmost overlord is going to be doing a good job of keeping track of the other side of his base, and a potential spotter for later Nidus Canals or that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Yulath saying, oops, what did Yulath do?
Maybe he waited a little too long to get his expo. I'm not sure if that's what he meant to do. We shall see. Hopefully, we don't see him do any more melee upgraded lings. That hasn't worked out too well for him in the past. And thankfully, I think that's not going to be the case. He is going tier 2. He still only has 1 gas. And whenever you see a Zerg player going tier 2 with only 1 gas, you can only assume that it doesn't mean mutas. Surely any muta player would be starving for gas, would be mining it like crazy hand over fist right now. And the lings just fly on through. Look at that. They find a leak. We've got 6 lings running around in the back of his base all of a sudden. Zukarakox rushing to defend his probes, but having the discipline not to simply just attack with all of his probes, but rather to hold them off. Lings are fighting anything to chew on.
Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, these lings are not going to be able to kite that stalker. And, yeah, just kind of running away. Yep. We are seeing lair tech going down on Yulath's side.
Yeah, so that's finally come up, and he's finally getting his second gas, so I can only assume hydras at this point, if not roaches. But he really doesn't have enough gas to support hydras. He kind of needs at least 2, if not 3, gas to really reliably produce hydras. And he's just really behind in that. In fact, his expo is looking pretty weak, too. He never transferred workers. He's only growing them from there. Let me pull up the units tab, and yeah, like I thought, he's only at 20 workers compared to 26. So while he has 2 bases, he's just not saturated enough on any of them. He's spending a lot of time making lings and that sort of thing.
Yeah, meanwhile, you definitely called it. Yulath is throwing down a Hydrogen. And Zukarakox, meanwhile, is making a Twilight Council and another Gateway. So I'm curious to see. Let's see, his army is currently extremely Zealot heavy, so it would not surprise me. Yep, there it is. Zealot legs, or charge if you want to get technical or something, I don't know. Yeah, this will definitely be a pretty good counter to the current Ling infestation and any Hydras that come up pretty soon.
Yeah, thankfully he had the forethought to put these 3 spine crawlers in the front of his base well before this attack. As a result, he's not going to... Well, he'll be able to deter it for a little while. We'll see if he can actually get some units up. Again, I'm just going to complain about not having any creep connecting his main. That's a real pain, and especially since he's got very slow Hydras coming out, and he's got Overlords, and he's tier 2, he should be able to creep together that main, no problem. But we haven't seen that kind of APM yet out of him, I don't think, in terms of managing his creep very well. But for the most part, this is a good, solid Zealot army. Like you said, he's got Zealot, Leg Charge, whatever the heck it's called, and just a little bit of everything else. Single sentry at the meantime here, so hopefully he's going to go ahead and push this attack because he's got an expansion up.
Sorry, my mom texted me.
Yulath has got a paltry 4 Hydras. It's just not going to cut it versus this many Zealots, especially with the charge already finished.
Yeah, the charge has completed, and not content with that, Zukarakox is actually throwing down 1 Robo, a Forge, along with a Stargate.
He's kind of getting a sampler pack all of a sudden. That's kind of insane. I'm not sure if I totally agree with that. I mean, yes, get a Forge for upgrades, and then choose one of either. No, and he's going for a Fleet Beacon. I think he's going to win, and he's going to win big. He's going to go for carriers. But why the Robo Bay? Where did that come from? I don't know. Perhaps he wants observers.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled out a lot of Voids and then went for... He could be going for speed raise, or just going for a mothership straight up.
All of which, I mean, even going for carriers right now is kind of crazy. He's got a good thing going. He's got a good army. I don't know why he feels he needs it. But, you know, a couple of carriers and a big Zealot army, not going to complain. That's not the worst thing in the world for him, especially since the Zealots are already upgraded and, ready to kick ass and take some names. But we'll have to see. I think he's being too ambitious and building too many units at once. All of this money, notice he built a Forge right away, hasn't done anything with it. Built the Robo Bay, hasn't done anything with it. The only thing he should be doing is getting carriers if he's thinking about carriers, and save himself all that money and not build those other 2 buildings. But no, I guess he is getting photon cannons too. So both of these players continue to surprise me with their passivity and their conservatism.
I don't know. I think he's actually saving up for a mothership because he's sitting on 350 gas. We'll just have to see in a few seconds. Meanwhile, Yulath is actually throwing down a Nidus network, which is extremely, extremely fancy. Are we going to see a mothership? Yes, we are.
And there it is. Good. I'm glad he's getting something there, but even so, I don't know. He continues to surprise me with this army. I think he kind of had the game in the bag right then when there was a point where there were 4... We had 4 Hydralisks out here and a little bit of spine crawlers, and he just backed away, and he had a pretty neat-looking army for assaulting that kind of a base and getting the advantage on him. I'm not going to argue that a mothership isn't useful, but it's very hard.
Oh, we have a Nidus one going down.
Oh,
left. You see it?
Yeah, right up on the hill there.
Yeah, right there on the high ground. Oh snap! This is not looking good.
He's got sight of the cannons. Not gonna complain about this. This is definitely nice. See if you can do some damage here to this. How is he ever going to get any sight up there? Does he have an observer floating over? There it is.
Yep, there's an observer. He just needs to move it. Oh man. Come on, where's the mothership? We need mothership.
Yeah, how good is he being? He's been chrono boosting it the whole time. It looks like it's about 75% done. That'll definitely help, but it's certainly not going to help with a cliff full of Hydras. He could possibly recall way later once it finally comes up, but the second Nidus Swarm coming up
comes
from the main.
Nidus.
I'm very happy to
With
be
a
seeing
mothership
Nidus Worm.
finishing
This is what
pattern.
I've wanted to see the whole time. This is some really flexible Nidus usage, jumping back and forth, and assaulting.
And now we're gonna see a Nidus Worm and a mothership in the same game. Whoa!
There we go. All the
Perfect
buildings suddenly
timing.
disappear.
Run away, mothership!
And this is going to be really painful. He's just going to have to get out of there. That's good. All right.
Absolutely.
So,
That mothership arrived.
Invisible
Yes.
charging zealots versus Hydralisk. Yeah, you know what? I will buy that. That is a good combo. I'm surprised it got out, to be honest. But all right, let's see what happens.
That was amazing.
I don't know why he's putting the roaches in here. He's just kind of emptying everything out onto that cliff.
Yeah, you can't really selectively.
Yeah, he's just
empty
kind of
Nidus
taking whatever
Worms.
he can out of there. So, happy to see the charging zealots out there. This is what I wanted to see earlier. And the mothership is really just icing on the cake. I honestly think he could have done without it, but it certainly is much more solid with him doing it.
Yeah, I'd love
has
to see a
make short work
vortex
of
go
this.
down.
He's intentionally being nice. Oh, and we have an overseer floating in, hoping to help out a little bit. And frankly, it is a little bit. But in the black hole
Ooh,
goes.
vortex goes down.
Hey, man. All right. I'll take it. Sure. You want to build a mothership? Go for it. That seems fine to me. And, he's positioning himself right around the Hydralisk as they come out. He goes ahead and gets the shield up. And,
That was absolutely fantastic. He ran the zealots straight into the vortex, so when he came out, they were just perfectly weaved together and had a fantastic spread. However, he just simply didn't have enough units, and I don't know if this mothership can really handle